So what is the question? If you can answer one question, you have vision. What is that question?
Why are we here?
Why are we here? If you can answer that question, you have vision. And if you can't answer that question, you don't have vision. And we're going to be looking at that as we talk about questions as we run up to them. So the vision is why are we here? It's about the work of God, why God has called you to do what you're doing. And if you don't know the answer to that question, you're in big trouble. Now, originally, when we wrote the REAP course, we knocked it out as a series of steps. And finding a venue was almost the kind of venue was there. You know, we have a vision, so we're going to find a venue. And the question we kind of asked ourselves was, how do you find a venue? And that's really what a lot of, what do you look for in a venue? What does it do? And so on. As we've gone on, I think we're seeing more that we begin to think of venue within vision.
Yeah.
It's not actually something something that's outside. It's something that's fundamental. Let me give you a couple of examples. When I first kind of planted a church in the UK, it was actually a division of a church that I'd been leading. And I said, okay, well, you guys go left, you guys go right, and I'll try and look after that. And one of the couples who led were older than me, and they were pretty confident they knew what they were doing. I wasn't necessarily as confident, but that might be my bad. And the other couple were younger, and they would sort of, if I said, well, I think we should do this, they'd say, okay, well, how do we do that? So this older couple found a great venue in a public library on a main road right in the middle of the area where they wanted to work. I said, I think you should give this venue to the other church and that you should head back towards another one because of basically the gifting balance and how it would work with the church. And they pushed back very hard. And I remember they said something that didn't make sense to me at the time. Now it does. It says, we've found this place. We've got the whole church excited about this venue, about being here. And now you're telling us you want us to switch it out and give it to other people. And I thought, well, how do you get excited about it? That's not what I put venue in my mind outside of vision, and they were putting it back inside vision. I'll give you another example. Talking to Paul Jump about church planting in East Manchester. One of the things he was doing is saying, well, there are no churches here, which maybe isn't as crucial, but he also said, look, you've got the community room at Asda Eastlands. And so what Paul was doing is he was, just as he ran through things in his mind, he was putting the venue right into the vision from the get-go. Now, I think that it's important as you build vision. I guess the only thing I'm saying here is put the venue back anyway. So that's section 1. Section 2 is, this is the technical section. So a venue is basically like a house. It's a combination of two things. It's a combination of what the house is like and location. So location, in diverse Antioch, we really like busy public buildings. So Pendleton Gateway, brilliant. The Methodist Central Hall, you're not going to get anything better than that in the city centre. Rochdale, it's a little bit discreet, but it's good, It's like, it's a public space. People can find it. It's not hidden away. So when we first broke up into two churches. One of them went into this library, which was right in the main road. It was a real kind of community hub. So they were piggybacking off that. It was fabulous. The other one ended up in a fetid Somali wedding venue, stroke Quranic center, stroke Ethiopian pub. Now, how all those things work together, I don't know. What I do know is the plumbing didn't work real well and it was freezing cold. Plus, it was parked away in like, it was actually on Main Road. There are very few people here who associate Main Road with anything. You. Does anyone else know why Main Road, you know Main Road is famous?
City's old football ground.
City's old football ground, yeah, it was actually on Main Road, yeah. So it was on Main Road, but Main Road has subsequently been broken up. It doesn't even run straight anymore. And if you gave people the postcode, they'd be wandering around like half a mile away, going in circles. And people tried to come to the church and they just couldn't find it sometimes. It was like horrific. So it wasn't, in that sense, a great position. And like your Sunday, like Salford's Sunday, it's like, why are we here? You know, we're somewhere on the borders of Eccles for reasons that was really, really tough. It just wasn't predictable. Predictability is important. Now, all of that is in the notes. And a lot of it is common sense. You don't need me to tell you that. So I'm going to run through it. I'm not going to do it, if that's okay. One thing that is more interesting is how to get a venue. How do you do that? And sometimes it takes work that I have been sometimes unwilling to do. Normally, if anything is happening anywhere, look at the way that other people are doing it and do that. So what's really interesting is when you look at newly planted churches, often Asian or African, they will double up into existing church buildings. They will actually commonly take upper floor suites in buildings. I don't know if you've seen that. And sometimes they will just, like Muslims will do this as well, just move into like church buildings that are there. Now, in Antioch, we've tended not to do that. But in some ways, we've stacked when we've said we want all of these things and we want a rentable, non-religious venue, we haven't made life easy for ourselves.
Yeah.
And I would say that thinking about taking some of those other options, I know that we have taken church buildings at kind of unusual times. I remember one time, Cheetham Hill, they were saying, okay, so there's this upper floor suite. And I just went in there and it's like, these are rats dropping. It's like, we're not coming here.
Yeah.
But actually there were two, because there was the one up in the, and one up by Tesco. And then there was another one which was upstairs on the main street. And actually, now, you know, and given what happened, I'm not sure I would have thought, okay, we can get the rats out. But basically, look at what other people are doing. Here's another one, pray. Pray. Hope Church really struggled to get a venue. It was in the Pakistani Community Centre, and then that just didn't work out. So we had to pull it back into our house, and then COVID hit, and then we moved it into a Bangladeshi centre that, no, you can't. I'm going to pause this. Rainy day, and I was wearing an old black coat. And there was this door with a hairdressing salon in it. Walked in, hello? Yeah, I'm looking for a room. And it's like, it's right on the crossroads of the Stockport Road instead of Stanley Grove. You cannot get more central in Longside. It's impossible. And it's on the right side of the road. Yeah, that should be okay. Well, yeah, it's for a church. Yeah, Yeah, I don't see that would be a problem. Well, it'll be out of hours. Yeah, it's okay. We can give you a key. It's like, look, I'm sorry, I'm going to stop you right there. There's a lot of valuable equipment. There's a lot of valuable. I can be anybody. Are you mad? It's like, let's show you around the building. It's like, would you like this big, spacious, like cafe area? Yeah, yeah. What about breakout rooms? Yeah, just take as many as you want. Yeah, that's fine. Okay.
And it's cheap.
Yeah. How much would it be? It's like, well, day it's 50, so 20. It's like, yeah, that sounds fine. 20 sounds doable. Yes. What's wrong with you? And I felt like the Lord was saying, like, the fate of your church is death. The fate of my church, on the other hand, is life.
Amen.
And if I decide you're going to get a venue, you're going to get a venue. If I decide that a door is going to open, a door is going to open, and no one can shut it. Somebody can say no, but if I say yes, we're done.
Yeah.
We're done here. And I think as you go around looking at all these technical things, it might be that the Lord is just saying, stay with me in prayer. Stay with me in prayer over these things. Don't give up. Just keep praying. Cool, I'm going to pause. Are there any questions on... I mean,
and arrangements.
and this is one of the reasons why if you get your own place, you've got a lease, you've got to handle things like business rates, utilities, and all those kind of things. Whereas normally short-term agreements are called like license agreements, and you don't end up handling any of that. But obviously that can affect your security. How long you're
Can you
out.
give us more information on that, so where to do it, that sort of thing?
The short story is no. I can just tell you what you can look for, because a license agreement, which is normally what you get, is like an end user agreement. You just have to read it. Now, a legal lease is a different beast. Well, no Antioch church has ever taken out a legal lease.
Right.
I mean, I've done that because I also head up almost the kind of Antioch property holding company. It's called the Alexandria Library, and that can give you a headache. But no Antioch church has ever done that.
So it's a license agreement,
Yeah, it's
end user agreement.
yeah, it's a user agreement like we've got for this building right now. This is a one-off user agreement over the roof. You don't normally take a lease over a building unless that's what you intend to do.
Well, you've got no option.
Well, no, you might want to use it quite heavily. You might want to do that, but the thing is, if you lease a building and only use it say twice a week, it's going to be expensive.
Yeah.
Chances are it's going to be expensive.
I'm just thinking the building needs repairs and stuff like that.
Yeah, so if you've got a lease, you can get caught really badly. There are a whole bunch of horrific ways to get caught. I mean, like the guys next to us got a lease over a building, piled a whack of money into it, didn't read the lease properly, and didn't see that the thing was A, going to have a rent review, which is normal, but B, the rent review, normally, if you do the lease properly, would exclude any improvements that you do to it. So the person who reviews the rent is going to review the rent for the commercial rate for the unimproved building, not the improved building that you put together. And they just didn't do that. They didn't put that in. So the rent reviewer came round, did it on the basis of this building where they'd put tens of thousands of pounds in. They ended up contesting the rent review, losing the money, paying interest, and having to basically tank the restaurant. I mean, essentially what they did is they moved 2 doors down, sold out, and then restarted with a the new building. Yeah, yeah, please do. I mean, if you want to come